Hello everyone and welcome to Introspection. Today I have the honor and the pleasure to welcome Khawaja Munir Mashooqullah. Munir is the founder of the M5 Group, one of the top 10 largest apparel global supply chain companies. I cannot wait to hear his story. Let's get started. Welcome Munir to the show. Welcome to Introspection.
Introspection. That's a good one for me.
I know, absolutely. And I know you do a lot of it in your time. I know you're somebody who's very deep, who reflects on the inside what's happening, on your emotions and your missions and your purpose. So I want to start with the first question, which seems very large, but it's so important, of who is Munir?
So Munir is a product which you usually hear about stories from rags to riches, or sometimes riches to rag. But my story is more about riches to rag to being comfortable. Because today the definition of rich is, what is rich? One doesn't know.
It's
There's
multiple.
no limit. It's multiple.
Right.
But let's say for me, it was about I was 7 years old when circumstances changed from being born in a noble or aristocratic family in Dhaka, which is today Bangladesh, and then going through very difficult circumstances because in South Asia, you know, the independence from the British, then the splitting of Pakistan into Bangladesh and Pakistan, so it was first all India and then. So for me, who is Munir? I'm a product of being blessed, being grateful, and how my life has shaped up is that I had goals. I went into marriage at 22. I was father of 3 at 29.
Wow.
So I did not have the luxury or the flexibility to even use terms like I need to go find myself or take a sabbatical or, you know, I'm taking a year off. Absolutely not. So I'm a product of circumstances. I'm completely self-made.
Yeah.
And I started way too early, but then what it has done, it's made me strong, resilient, adaptable, flexible, collapsible, agile, all those fancy words which you hear today. I did it practically.
Right.
And then it also gave me the ability to be a servant leader. So I lead by example.
Yeah.
And that has also shaped my conduct with generally people, non-judgmental, and I have an appreciation of everything in life. So I don't want to claim myself that I'm authentic, but I'm for real.
Yes, you're for real. If you had to kind of give your life a book title, I love this question because it goes straight to the essence. What would be the title of your book?
I think if I can share something, if you go to any of the AI, my title of the book would be, depending on what the creative people would say, is should actually be Only Busy People Have Time, or Busy People Have Time. And I've tried to say that who said this most recently, it comes out it's me.
Yeah.
But the longer sentence probably was Paul Coelho in, I think, one of his books. But I'm surprised why this is not used as often as I use it.
So tell us more. What does it mean? Only busy people have time.
So when you asked me to do this, I said yes. When?
Yeah.
I did not procrastinate.
Right.
If I have time and I could make time. People who do not appreciate time, I don't think do well.
I believe it's our most valuable resource.
Yes.
Time and energy,
So
actually.
time could even be saying that I want to give myself 2 hours every morning. It does not mean just work. So if you turn around and say that, oh, I don't have time for exercise, that's your decision.
Right.
I work so much that I can't give time to my kids. Okay, so do something exceptional. What is exceptional? The law of averages suggests that more mothers go to pick up their kids from school and less the father, and especially depending on developing countries or developed countries. I made it a point to either drop the kids or show up in their school when other fathers could not. Now those are moments which people and kids remember even
Right.
till today. Or being that parent who would take the kids' friends out and take time for that, or give them special. So if you take any aspect of life, whether it's work related, giving back to your university, or giving back to society, or meeting your mother or father or parents, you can take out time if you know that time is there, and only busy. If you're busy, you know how to utilize the time.
Right.
Even if you want to sleep 12 hours, you still have to know how to take that time
Well,
out
I
to
will.
sleep
I
12
always say
hours.
that time is the same for everybody,
Yes.
right? When people say I don't have time, it's basically a lie. What they mean really is I don't prioritize this at the moment, because you always have a choice.
So that's why busy people have time, or only busy people have time. I would leave that to the creative side of the book or the agency to come out. But that's the essence, because the
essence of who
essence
you are.
of how I have managed. And I'm not here at my vintage of 60 or plus to tell people, whoever is listening to this, what they should do. So if someone who is today in their 20s or 30s or early 40s and can get a few pointers from our conversation, that would be great. And that's why I think why you and I are doing this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
But to come back to your story and your timeline, let's say we're always navigating between the past, the present, and the future. What do you think are some of your 3 highs, let's say, and 3 lows through that timeline that really shaped who you are, and who kind of create that cover of only busy people have time?
economics is one of them. And one shouldn't downplay economics.
Yeah.
Money is not the solution for everything, certainly not. But economics and money can solve some problems. So let's keep that in one bucket. But in the 80s, we did not have some of the things like we say, oh, I need to go find myself, or
You're right.
no, you just could not do that. And I went to Catholic school,
Yeah.
so getting capital punishment, for those who don't know what that means, getting caned or slapped, was okay, but no controversies. But the nuns and priests, they used to genuinely love us and teach us those fundamentals which shape a person's personality in terms of discipline, in terms of when I bring the subject economics of highs and lows,
Right.
naturally when I struggled, and one of the things which I say publicly is, I was 10 or 11 years old when my sister was getting married. She was only 17, 18. We did not have the money, and even coming from an aristocratic and noble family, I tried Googling that, am I from a royal family? It says, no, you're not from a royal family, you're from a noble family. So I keep bringing that reference. So I lost my royalty because AI doesn't agree that I'm
Wow.
I'm
There you
from
go.
royalty. Sorry, but I hate you for that, AI. So basically, we wore secondhand clothes which were retailored. No, why do I say that? Because it's okay.
Right.
And so you can say it's a low moment, but that low moment gave you something to look forward into a high moment. So they are experiences of wanting to do better in life.
Right.
And wanting to do better in life would be that another example is I went very late to graduate school when I was 34. And
Okay.
it took me about 3 days or 4 days in the mid 90s when Windows and all were new in terms of application, Word. Now, I did not know how to do those things prior to that, and I was already in my mid 30s. When I realized that I could do these courses, I set up in the course of the last 30 years 10 free schools to just teach anybody, children, women, men, how to use the computer. And it was from a moment which I needed to do that, because you could not go to a graduate school in the United States if you did not know how to type a document or make an Excel or how to go to the World Wide Web then, which was very slow. It was a dial-up technology.
Right.
To dial up a number. So most of these highs and lows which I've had in life were an effect of when you have to do something. There's one thing, you have that experience, but you do not do anything about it. And you have an experience and you do something about it.
Yeah, you have a low and then you transform the low into
so then
opportunity.
What motivated you to do that? How did you do that? Now, naturally, the more contemporary lows also came during COVID. And I've done a whole series of conversations for Washington University, St. Louis on how did COVID affect me. And the thing is that it was a challenge which I could never understand. Nobody could understand. So in my business, if you were in the wedding dress business, you were dead. Because
Absolutely.
there was no
so
wedding
much
dress.
uncertainty. Yeah, no more wedding
And if
dresses.
you were in the lounging apparel business, you hit the jackpot because that's what people wanted to buy. But what was difficult for me at that time was that you could be dealt with a hand, you don't know what to do. Because in supply chain, all the retails were closed and all the manufacturing was closed. And we supply chain executives needed to make sure that our people with our skill set need to be still there, not to panic, but that cost you a lot of money. So there are highs, there are lows. Most of my highs and lows I've reflected on. I have not let any of these incidents, the good ones or the bad ones, go without some kind of an outcome. And again, that gratefulness, kindness, these things do matter. They're real. And I just wish more people apply that. It doesn't make that I have like a, if one believes in hell or heaven or whatever, it doesn't mean that makes me more pious or more, got a one-way ticket to heaven or something. No, I may be ending up in hell, I don't know. But the effort to do right, ideally I would like to be in the processing center where people who decide they are in some certain faiths, there is a word for it. I've applied for that, to be in the processing center. To send people to hell or heaven.
Hell or heaven.
Yeah, so.
But the appreciation and the gratitude is key.
It's key.
It's like really introspection, basically.
Yes.
I mean, the name of the show,
Yeah.
to introspect every part of your life.
So that's, I forgot that was the name of the show, but everything keeps coming back to that. And I think the other thing attached to that, and it's can become controversial within your peer groups or within your family, is evolving, not changing. I think evolving is also correlated to introspection.
Right.
The ability to learn and evolve.
Yeah, I love it.
So I am a big believer of that.
Okay. On your way, on your timeline, where you're, creating time, so to say, who are the people that influenced you the most?
So one is influence, and the other, which I want to discuss more fundamentally, because it's a key takeaway, is I kind of started my work career little after my 16th birthday. So between 16 and 22, I had one boss who actually taught me discipline. And he also taught me how to see something completed. So if A happens, B happens. And it sounds so simple.
Follow through, kind of.
So, but the thing is that if I need to get to this place where I had to today in Paris, it's not that I saw how long it was going to take me 5 minutes before I ordered a taxi or Uber or good. I did that in the morning. And I saw there are two ways I can get there. One will take 38 minutes approximately, one may take 43, depending on the traffic. So that's the kind of thinking which was instilled in me at a very early age. And I can't forget that, because at whatever challenges I was thrown in, I used to first say, okay, if I need to get here or my work needs to get here, let's ask the right questions. So that process, whether I came from supply chain or I was a person of strategy, it started opening my mind. Now, it's not that I took every strength of that individual, but what that individual was good at. Secondly, going later into life, I had another boss, a tough boss, related to me, and that time through marriage. What I learned from that individual was what is institutional building. And it's a very wide term. So let's say it's Nina Orman today. So you could be me and all about you, or you can actually create an institution with what you offer, what you do. And in order to do that, what does a brand actually mean? And a brand could be your own positioning, a brand could be your company, or your brand could even be a charitable organization. But whatever your brand is, you take that brand or institution of yourself or your company you're trying to create and treat it with all piousness as you would do something for a faith or something. So be honest about it. So do not dilute that. So institutional building ultimately future proofs for a certain time your life, your business, or your brand. And I think this is a key takeaway. The third person was a gentleman who passed away, who was my chairman for a certain while. His son works with us right now as a CFO. And he taught me about critical thinking. And some of the lines which I got from him is, whenever there's a situation, he should always say, is it urgent or is it important?
Yes, I love that one.
Yeah, and I'm a strong believer to analyze many things in life and say, you need to address not always the urgent things, but also the important things in life or in business. So these are such simple things, whether it's discipline of time, strategic thinking of biasness about your brand or your institution, and the third one being strategic thinking on any aspect of how. But for that, you have to be a good listener. And then just generally for, politics and all, I had another retired ambassador who was very learned. I usually go to him even today to ask questions when there is a political impasse or something, when globally or locally, or nowadays everything is connected. So there are these four people who
really influenced you and shaped
in terms
who you
of
are.
in how I look at things.
So let's talk about your professional path just for a minute. So 16 years old, you started working, and tell us a little bit about what you've built and the impact that created and the purpose it has for the people.
So unfortunately, it's quite embarrassing that what I have built does not have what I have earned from what I have built. I will not like to say my social impact projects, but like I told you something about the Computer Institute, but things which I've done in Bangladesh and Pakistan, and some time back something in south of India, but and even giving back to my university. So I can't talk about that I'm doing a lot of good in terms. So I do I can say something that my company is called, it's a supply chain company. We potentially could be one of the top 10, especially in apparel and now DIY and hard goods and stuff. But we are not exploiting workers or children or anybody. But my clients, and I don't want to take any, they're usually the discounters or fast fashion and below. So we are bringing a lot of value, which gives people more disposable income. So there is a noble way to look at it. So you can buy a shirt or a sheet or a candle at a very affordable price all over Europe, all over
affordable
US.
and sustainable.
I'll come to the sustainable part, because sustainable, we'll get off to another tangent because I'm big into circularity. So basically, yes, not only that, we create a lot of employment, but there's economics, but we are more or less what you would call the middle person. But it's driven towards a value proposition in products. So I've glorified what I'm doing, but some people can criticize that, you know, you exploit cheap labor, you do things like that. Look, if someone can buy the stuff we make for some of the very famous retailers, even in this city, it gives them disposable income to maybe go and buy some, you know, better food or poulet or anything else. So I do contribute. When it comes to sustainability, basically, we have pre-consumer waste, which is a company we have, which is called Cyclo. We also have created a fund for things. It's called Prestar, which has got everything to do with the planet, recycling. But we are also talking about traceability right now. So that's a second pillar of my entrepreneurship. It's all about circularity.
Okay.
And we are constantly looking at how you can take pre-consumer waste, post-consumer waste, even food waste. We're doing something with the university in Toronto with these two students who now actually have a good valuation at how to make fiber from food waste.
Wow.
So those are the nice things, but I'm not doing that, you know, I believe in it. I have a son who believes in it. So that's what basically the economics is, the give back or the circularity is. And the problem with circularity or sustainability right now is, are companies doing it as a corporate obligation, or do they really mean it?
Right.
Up to now, 80% is corporate obligation.
Responsibility or...
Yeah.
Real.
So, but the thing is that at least there's an effort, and my children are adult men, your children are children. There's good happening for them.
Right.
So there's an effort.
Let's talk about your children actually for a minute. How did you, you know, you became a father, did that change a lot? I mean, you spoke about picking them up at school, being, you know, a present dad. Tell us a little bit more about the family.
So, my oldest is 37, so when compared to that, my grandson and your daughter are the same age, so I've given my age here. So I don't dye my hair, I still don't have any Botox, so I've got a lot of things to look forward to in terms of longevity. One of the important things for anyone who's listening to what I have to say, learn this word BY.
Okay.
Okay, so when you tell children that when I was young, my father or I did it this way, just start saying BY, and they'll say, what's BY? Before you.
Before you. Before your time.
So before you, this is the way it was done. So it gets, the other thing is, don't ask questions like, how was school? If you say, I'm sorry, what I'm going to say then, did your teacher suck today? I'm sorry, it sounds a little American, but they'll respond to you, yes, or my teacher was not good today. So if you ask the obvious questions, first you start a dialogue. The second thing, it's very easy that anything your child likes, and this happened 10 years ago or 12 years ago, you can actually set in Google, in your search engine, any activity with that sports player, or if it's one of the Kardashians, if they like something they choked, it will show up on your email that this event happened, whether it's a sports, singer, or a hobby. So you have now technology to converse with your children of things which they are interested in.
Right. Don't talk about yourself. Talk to them about their interests.
And then you can lead into the conversation which you really want to have with them. So we have better tools
Yeah.
how to use them. And I would like to bring in something which I told you passingly when that let's, as parents, as grandparents, let's not get intimidated by AI.
Right.
Because if you have the knowledge and you use the prompts right in asking AI what you need to, you will get a better answer that some of our younger generation thinks we're putting in short answers and not getting the right response. So it's enabling us to become more powerful.
Right.
Our generation can be much more powerful than our younger generation. Just because they may be typing things fast, it doesn't mean...
And we're asking the better questions, the more mature
that you will
ones.
ask the question based on your intelligence, the AI is also learning. They are not learning based on their intelligence. So this is extremely important, and it translates back to children. You're talking about my sons. I have 3 sons, but I have 2 grandsons. I have 1 daughter-in-law, but 1 more on the way. So it sounds like it's pregnancy, but no, it's like I have a daughter-in-law on the way. I think dialogue is important.
Yes.
I also am a very strong believer, those people who haven't done it, they should start thinking about, is family forums or family, a semi-formal way of meeting once or twice a year in a neutral environment with your children, irrespective of age, and sometimes make one of your child a moderator and ask the parents not to pretend, not to be the authority at that time on the table or in the lounge chair.
But be like a peer-to-peer discussion, conscious connection.
And there would be such wonderful things, such uncomfortable things which will come out. And I absolutely encourage people.
Thank you so much. Maybe last question, what is it, the one thing that you want to leave the leaders with? You said so much, but maybe 1 or 2 things that really, if you said, you know, this is the one thing you have to focus on.
I think intellectual honesty. I didn't use the word honesty, because honesty today, people say he's a very honest person. They don't say that about me, but what do you mean by very honest? So honesty on a financial side has now categories.
Oh, I see.
And he's little honest, he's not honest, he's very honest, he's extremely honest. You hear these things. But intellectual honesty is at least be honest with yourself in what you're about to do, what you're about to say. Be a good listener. Have the last word, so speak in the end. So you've taken all the feedback. These are very fundamental things for me. There's another line which goes around when people are talking about me in companies, that I always say I trust in God, everybody else provides data. And basically I'm telling that to the whole team, that just don't say things off the cuff. At least do your homework.
Yeah. Do your research.
Yes. And there are things, but I don't want to sound that way, what leaders should do, because I think my audience, if anybody is listening, is the younger. And I know you like the word authentic. I like the word authentic. Be fair.
Yeah.
If you can be fair, fairness will get you can get amazing results for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Munir, for being here, for sharing your story, and for giving so much value to our audience. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I'll
you,
see
Nina.
you